You're right. Welcome back to factorizing. So I hope you had a chance to try the worksheet. I'm going to pause the video and you can go ahead and check your answers, and then we'll talk about it in just a second. Okay, so the whole idea of this was realizing, right, that you take these two numbers, you multiply them to get the top, and you add them to get the bottom, and then sometimes you need to work backwards. Now, the reason we've started with this is a very important skill. To go ahead and factorize three brackets like we're going to do, especially on the bottom row. These ones, that's the skill we're going to be using to factorize two brackets. All right, your eights, welcome to factorizing. So again, the first thing we factorize is look for the highest common factor. If there is no highest common factor and there's two terms, we're thinking about difference of two squares. So there's four terms, we're thinking about grouping. If there's three terms, we're looking at putting it into two brackets, something like that. So again, we've just been practicing a certain skill. The key is, when we do this, if we think about it, the whole time we've been expanding, I'm saying think about what we're doing because we're going to have to go backwards. Where does this plus 4 come? I need two numbers that multiply to positive 4, and I need two numbers that add to positive 5. So we always start with the multiplying. What things multiply to give me 4? It's either 2 times 2 or 1 times 4 that multiply to give me 4. Which of those pairs add to 5? Yes, it's 1 and 4. So that means I know it's going to start x and x because x times x is x squared, and I need my 1 and my 4. Plus 1 plus 4. Now, it doesn't matter which bracket goes where. So again, we want to check. Have we got it right? X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. 1 times x is x. And 1 times 4 is 4. So notice how that happened. Where did this 4 at the end come from? By multiplying the 1 and the 4. How did I get 5? Well, when I add my 4x plus 1x, I don't need to write it again, 4x plus 1x is 5x, and then plus 4. So our bracket works. You can see how I got that 5 from adding the 1 and the 4. So this is how we're going to go about it. It's that skill you just did on the worksheet, finding two numbers that multiply to one number and add to another number. That's the key to factorizing these. Okay, think about that, and you give this one a go. Pause the video and try to factorize this one. Okay, again, the key is what things multiply to 6. It's either 1 times 6 or 2 times 3. Multiply to 6. Which pairs add to 7? Which pair add to 7? The 1 times 6. So how am I going to factorize this? Two brackets. I know the first term in each one is going to be y because y times y is y squared. And I need 1 and 6, so it's going to be plus 1 and plus 6. The order of those two doesn't matter. Let's check, and when we check, we see why this works. Y times y is y squared. Y times 6 is 6y. 1 times y is 1y, and 1 times 6 is 6. If I simplify this, y squared plus 7y plus 6. So you see why it works. You see why we're looking for things that multiply to 6 and add to 7. Okay, I'm going to give you the worksheet to do at the end of the lesson, or we might start it next time. Okay, another example here. Same thing. All right, this time though I have a minus one. I've got three terms. Is there a highest common factor? No. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for things that multiply to 12. Well, what could it be? It could be 1 times 12. It could be 2 times 6. It could be 3 times 4. Okay, now I need things that add to minus 7. Well, none of these things, if I add them together, 3 plus 4 is 7, but not minus 7. But what else gives me a positive 12? What about negative 3 times negative 4? That's also positive 12. And when I add that, I get minus 7. I could also try minus 1 times minus, don't know why my blue keeps times minus 12. That gives me positive 12, but that doesn't add to minus 7. So that means this is what I'm looking for. Remember, two things multiply to a positive. They can both be positive or both be negative. The key is the sign of the second term. So our brackets, and this is also what I started. I was just writing my two brackets out. I know the first term in each is going to be x. Okay. Now, there's a minus 3 and minus 4, so the order doesn't really matter. minus 3 and minus 4. Let's check it. X times x is x squared. X times minus 4 is minus 4x. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. And minus 3 times minus 4 is plus 12. And if I simplify this, minus 3x. Again, you see why it works. The two numbers I'm looking for multiply to the end number and add to the middle number. The key is looking at the signs. Will give you guidance on what you need to do. Okay, you go ahead and pause this one and try to factorize this. Okay, again, we're looking for things that multiply to positive 30 and add to negative 11. So I'm looking for two negative numbers, because two negatives multiply to a positive and two negatives add to a negative. So it could be negative 1 times negative 30. Should be obvious that's not going to work. Negative 2 times negative 15. Negative 3 times negative 10. What's negative 5 times negative 6? Oh, that adds to negative 11. Okay, so that's the numbers we're looking for. So to factorize it, I'm going to put my y's there. It's going to be minus 5, minus 6. Again, we can check that we've got it. Y times y is y squared. Y times minus 6 is minus 6y. Minus 5 times y is minus 5y. Minus 5 times minus 6 is plus 30. So I'm left with y squared minus 11y plus 30. We've got it. Okay, go ahead and pause the video, factorize these in your book. Okay, the first one. We're looking for things that multiply to 16 and add to negative 10. So I'm looking for two negative numbers. And I know my times table, I know 2 times 8, 16, add them, I get 10. So minus 2 times minus 8 would be positive 16 and add to minus 10. The next one, I'm looking for things that multiply to 20 and add to minus 9. So 20 is 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 and 5 give me 9. So minus 4 and minus 5 would give me minus 9. All right, the next one. I'm looking for things that multiply to 24 and add to negative 10. I'm looking for two negative numbers, 1 and 24. Let's see what else. 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. That's what's going to work, 4 and 6. You can just quickly, you can write them down, or if there's not many, you can just run through them in your head really quickly. Okay, last one, I'm looking for things that multiply to positive 15, add to minus 8. So that must be two negative numbers. So what things multiply to 15? 1 times 15, 3 times 3 and 5, minus 3, minus 5. We have it factorized. Again, a good rule of thumb is check them. Just expand them quickly, even in your head, to make sure, as you'll see later on, sometimes it's easy to mess up the signs or think you have the right numbers and they don't actually work.